My name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today's topic is the Great Divide. A long time ago, before the wind, before the snow, lived a man I know, lived a freak of nature named Sir Psycho. Please don't sue me. It's hard to say long time ago without that song playing in my head and then my mouth. So let's start with a tale that plays in my head often. Long ago, before even the dawn of time, there was the all. Isness was its business, and business was good. The all was ising everywhere all the time, because time had not been created yet, nor had space. There was a oneness, an at-homeness in this place. The all, which has been referred to as energy by the scientist, Allah by the Muslim, Supreme Godhead by the Hindu, God by the Christian, Goddess by the pagan. It has been known as many names in the divided state. Had a tiny mad idea. What if I could separate from myself? This tiny mad idea would not have manifested if the all had remembered to laugh at the cosmic joke of that thought. However, it took it seriously, and the Big Bang occurred. And a singularity exploded into an infinite number of multiverses and galaxies and places under which we can look and see the infinity that is the all. The challenge is, when that was created, once again, it forgot to laugh. And then it became pinned and hemmed and stuck in a realm that does not know itself. It created an ego that it might label the various things that the all is. And in that labeling and in that conditioning, lifetime after lifetime, of the naming of things, eventually it became judgmental instead of discerning. We can discern that fire is hot and not stick our hand in the pot because we don't want to burn our hand. We don't have to make fire bad because its nature is to burn. You see, judgment is not the way, the path, or the light to knowing the truth. It only casts shadows of night. The Great Divide is this duality, this dichotomy, this polarized realm called Earth School that is at the helm of our sights. Unless we open that third eye and really start to look and pry. And what we will find, if we look long enough in the paradigm, is that this is a decision allness made to take seriously. And in that is spending a very long time getting back in the paradigm to remembering what it be. Unconditional love in an infinite sea of oneness at one mint. Now, there have been masters that have walked this realm, and my mother was one of the greatest teachers I'll ever have at the helm. And she would say to me, there are many masters, Heather. There are many masters. My master is Jesus. I have chosen Yeshua ben Joseph. But there are many masters, and there are many paths home. And the Feather Spirit loved the inclusivity of that teaching. And to this day, I also believe this. But when we take a moment to consider the beautiful brown man, Yeshua ben Joseph, Jesus the Christed One of the teachings that master offered is 70 times 7 forgive. Now, why would a master ask us to forgive 490 times in the paradigm? That's a bunch. We just go, I forgive, I forgive. Because we judge. Because the ego's job when we committed to the role of the delusion of separation by creating a delusional realm called space-time delusion at the helm, or Earth School, if you will, is we are meant to discern that we might converse about this goofy place where we find ourselves mired in states of disgrace, and instead we judge. I'm not that. I'm not mean. You have to be nice. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure it's free will zone. I'm pretty sure you can be as mean as you want to be. You can cut people up in this realm. Like, are you sure you have to be nice? I don't think you have to. I don't think you understand free will. Also, there's no cutting up the allness and causing it to disappear, because the amount of energy that we have here cannot be created nor destroyed. So that in and of itself is a delusional story, which is mostly what we tell. Most of the stories, two-legged self included, may I evolve on it, are telling are stories about separation, the delusion of separation. But you see, you swim in a sea of atoms. You swim in a sea of atoms. Now, atoms have an electrostatic charge that causes them to bounce off one another, of course, but they are made 99.9999999, if we round up 100%, of emptiness. And that electrostatic charge that causes these little empty balls to bounce off one another occurs in a field of emptiness. So same touches same, right? Emptiness touches emptiness. Boop, boop, boop. Whether it touches and connects or not. It's a huge sea of emptiness. That is what your eyes look upon every day in the mirror, every time, every moment, no matter where your eyes look, they look at emptiness. Which means you have only ever witnessed oneness, singularity, sameness in this place. How silly that it seems to put on so many different outfits and think it's so many different things. But we can give it one name. We can call it energy, Allah, Supreme Godhead, Spirit. We can call it whatever you like. You can put whatever pants or dress you want on it. In fact, it is the allness, the at-one-ment. And the question in the Great Divide is, how divided is your mind and your heart in the paradigm? How divided do you need to be from your kin, from your brethren? How often do you choose to place them outside of the self and sit on your high horse above them? Or how often do you play worm under the feet of that which is surrounding you? The fact is, that is you. My brother wisely said to me many times in my childhood, as we would goof around as children, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Now, I didn't like that lesson as a child, but I chew on that fruit a bit, and I find it rather mild as an adult. And let me tell you what it means. Anytime you are seeing something that seems to be false evidence appearing real, seems to be a threat, seems to be a harm, seems to be a pain, seems to be a suffering in this place, the fact is that the attention has again chosen to take a delusional realm called divided from self and put it at the helm and allow false evidence appearing real to sit in the temple chair of your being. And you are welcome, because you have free will to live in a dream. As long as you like. As long as you like. We also have absolute truth. It is available. It is available. The absolute truth is love. That word is too large for our mouths to really speak it. It's like Yahweh, the name in Judaism for God. Unpronounceable, undefinable, undescribable. Many poets have tried to name it, but it's like nailing Jello to a wall. For it is so vast and so large and so comprehensive and so true and so complete. It is the only absolute truth, in fact. Everything else is the stories we tell while we sit at the helm of a delusional realm called space-time, in which we divide the mind of the divine, which has always been singular in the paradigm. Now, we can turn our backs on ourselves, but it doesn't mean that you can escape what you be. You are welcome to live in a dream. The kahuna, the Hawaiian shaman, would call this dream time. The Eastern mystics called this Maya, or illusion. Heather calls it, and the CIA calls it, hologram. There's a lot of different names. I say that to be more neutral and appeal to the scientist as much as the spiritual being, right? But it's to me all of those things. And the function is to remember or bring back together in the Great Divide communion and union with the truth, which means to be the love that you are in the sea of the living tree that is pretending as if its branches can break off from itself. It cannot. It cannot. It cannot. Living tree is eternal. There is no death. It's a delusion. Delusion. Delusion of separation. It's an echo in the chamber of the gun of existence called, oh my God, it's separate. Ugh. It's not separate. It's eternally connected. All relationships are eternal. Everything is eternal. It's an eternal sea. And I'm not right. I am spewing opinions into the stew, the primordial soup, such that the web might shake back to know what it be from my perspective and what I'm capable to see, right? And that is limited because I'm playing human being. So today, I'm asking you, how divided is your mind? How divided is your heart? How divided is your body? How divided is your spirit? Many have chosen to hold title of atheist, meaning is no God, which is not very scientific because you have no proof of that, just as we can't prove God. But at the same time, let's prove love. Oxytocin is not love, it's a chemical. Let's prove love. What's the weight? What's the volume? What's the location? Does it have a limitation, right? There are many things seen and unseen, and the unseen often does not fit under a microscope. So people say, there is no God, I haven't shaken its hand, But do you shake the hand of forgiveness when you offer it to another? No, you don't. So not everything is seen. There are many worlds, many mansions, and we can create heavens or hells. We can create the truth or false evidence appearing real. We have free will, But just because you create a delusion of separation in your mind, it doesn't mean that it actually occurred in the paradigm. And whether that delusion of separation occurs through death, whether it occurs through judgment, the largest of challenges, which is why a master would tell us to 70 times 7 forgive, 490 times forgive, or whether there is any way in which your mind is dividing us and them, this color and that color. Doesn't matter which way you're doing it. If you hate the white devil, you are the white devil. Why are you hating on yourself? If you hate men and you're a woman, you are all men. Why are you hating on yourself? Stop hitting yourself. 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 It is you. It is the sea of all that will ever be. And it has always been one thing. And to the degree that we choose to be divided from that which we are, we forget ourselves. We forget ourselves. So may we 70 times 7, 490 times forgive the self for the falsehood we choose to walk in a divine realm. And may we 70 times 7, 490 times forgive those that have forgotten themselves. For we too understand what it means to forget the love that we be. So the entire role of evolution in the living tree is about understanding is love that is all that ever is, was, or will be. That is the entire matrix of your sea. That is the entire matrix of the sea in which you swim. And to the degree you become divided, the great divide is allowed in your temple. To that degree, you will use time to establish proper value. Time is simply a tool to establish value. What are you valuing? Where are you putting your attention? What are you focused on? Oh, is that so terrible? Oh, is that person awful? Well, what the ego denies, it projects. Why are you judging yourself? Stop hitting yourself. Not everyone evolves at the same rate. And it's goofy to me to witness how much two-leggeds are like, everyone should be evolved. We gotta fight for justice and make everyone evolve now. It's like, okay, but you were a poo-poo for Popo Puff's Looney Tune so many lifetimes ago, mired in separation. And just because you've evolved to the point where you've come to this layer of awakening and understanding of the truth of union and the potency and profundity of we must treat others the way we want to be treated because it is one sea of beingness, does not mean that everyone's going to evolve at your same rate. So that's a quick way to sell your peace of mind in the paradigm. So what I focus on is my own aligned mind, my own evolution, because I am the steward of this ship. How divided, Heather, are you in body, mind, heart, and spirit? And how can you build a bridge? Because bridges lead to union, communion, and singularity, which is ultimately what we're all headed back to anyhow. You can always subscribe to Rare Bird Medicine on YouTube, like and comment there. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Amun.